seeking to recover nearly $800,000 in firefighting costs associated with a wildfire that broke out on a huge ranch near Ramona.
Flood victims lay into the city after a new audit found there were many problems and a lot of chaos in the way the city responded to the January 2024 flooding.
It's day 2 of Comic-Con. We have more on the sights and sounds from the convention center.
And did you know dogs can get sunburn, even develop skin cancer? So tonight we are working for you and have ways you can better protect your pet.
In this day and age of everything seemingly costing more and more, how would you like to try different food from different restaurants across San Diego and bakeries and get a discount on it? Well, I've got the connection for you. It's an app called Too Good To Go.
The community newspaper that'll make you laugh and cry. The people behind the paper.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
We are learning new details tonight about a lawsuit filed by CAL FIRE as it looks to recover hundreds of thousands of dollars it spent responding to a wildfire in Ramona. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel. That fire, the Kasner fire, was started 3 years ago by a tractor clearing brush. Tonight, CBS 8's David Gottfredson explains why the property owner, a real estate agent, and the driver of the tractor are named in the suit.
I happened to hear an engine going, and I was trying to figure out what it was that was making that noise, and it turned out it was some kind of a tractor.
This video shot by a neighbor shows a tractor clearing brush on a ranch east of Ramona off State Route 78 3 years ago. Hours later, the same neighbor who wants to remain anonymous recorded this video, the start of the Kasner fire on July 27, 2022, which burned 180 acres and which CAL FIRE says was started when blades on the tractor clearing brush hit a rock.
One of the worries that you always have when you're on a tractor clearing property is if one of your blades hits a rock and it causes a spark.
In a lawsuit filed this week, Caltrans names the tractor owner and his company an LLC that owns the 325-acre ranch and a real estate agent who allegedly helped hire the contractor. The lawsuit alleges the tractor contractor did not inspect the area first to ensure it was clear of large rocks and other objects that could cause a spark if struck. And the property owner failed to have the dry annual grasses and brush cleared earlier in the year instead of during the hot, dry summer season. The lawsuit seeks more than $766,000 for the costs that CAL FIRE incurred fighting the wildfire.
It's regretful. I hope he's got good insurance. I hope it doesn't put him under. I mean, you worry about local contractors. You know, you want everybody to make a living, and you don't want anybody to be hurt.
A CAL FIRE spokesperson told me, quote, "Don't do the right thing at the wrong time." He advises that homeowners should only clear brush during cool morning hours, avoid clearing brush during windy or low humidity conditions, and look out for rocks when using a tractor or mower. Nobody was injured in the Kasner fire and no homes destroyed. The defendants named in the lawsuit either declined to make a statement or did not respond to a request for comment. The statute of limitations for CAL FIRE to file a lawsuit like this is 3 years, and not coincidentally, the 3-year anniversary of the Kasner fire is just a couple days away. In Ramona, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
All right, David, thank you. Today we're hearing from San Diego flood victims after a new audit found the city's recovery efforts for the January 2024 floods fell far short. In fact, many described it as both chaotic and confusing.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal reports from City Hall, where a special committee meeting was held today.
Well, I talked to a woman today who says she's supposed to be able to move back into her Shelltown home in another month. For her today, this report, she says, only reinforced what she already knew, that the city's disaster recovery efforts were poor. And one of the big problems, she says, was communication.
If there was communication during that disaster, you wouldn't have so many people so traumatized, so devastated until this day like me.
Monica Garcia still gets emotional talking about the January 2024 flood that tore through her Shelltown neighborhood. She says her family lost so much that day, including mementos of her late sister.
And I can remember my sister's voice, but it was gone. Nothing could ever replace that. And now even the pictures, I was only able to save one. The rest is gone.
She was among those at City Hall for a special committee meeting today where they discussed a new 79-page audit that found the city's initial response to the flood was okay. However, everything that happened after that was a mess. It cited communication issues and poor long-term planning.
Flyers were sent out to residents in Spanish that had inaccurate information. This simply cannot happen. Mayor staff, in my opinion, should not be creating flyers during a disaster.
A handful of people spoke out on Zoom.
We still have homes that have muck in them. Let that sit with you for a moment.
Effective leaders take responsibility for their mistakes.
The committee voted to approve the report's findings, and city officials agreed to implement the audit's 23 recommendations, which include creating a more coordinated response plan and a comprehensive communication strategy. Meanwhile, Garcia says she lost her nephew in the months since the flood. She says the stress of that day took a toll on him and on everyone else in her family.
Well, I'll never be able to hug or say his welcoming to me every time I used to come to his grandma's house. No money can repay that.
And I reached out to the mayor's office for comment. It responded saying this storm was an unprecedented natural disaster. Now, the mayor says he was on the ground day one with his team and remained in the hardest hit neighborhoods for weeks. The mayor says also that they are already acting on the audit's recommendations, working with departments and the city council. Kelly Hessedall, CBS 8.
Day 2 of Comic-Con with all the usual chaos with cosplayers, comics lovers, and other pop culture fanatics taking over downtown San Diego. And it's all about to get even busier as we head into the weekend.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney joins us live now from the convention center with some of the highlights he found today. Very on brand for you, Alex.
Oh yes, thank you very much. Some very serious journalism today. Another super fun day out here at Comic-Con. It is day 2, and let me tell you, it is even more packed than it was yesterday. With thousands of comic book fans, we got all sorts of goodies here. We got toys, we got games, and we got lots of shirts and other things you can buy here. But we saw a few great panels today and met a really fun celebrity. Take a look.
It's day 2 of fun at Comic-Con. The character Galactus made his way around the convention center. He's the villain in the new Fantastic Four movie, and this incredible cosplay stands around 10 feet tall. And more great costumes.
Honestly, my wife did this for me. Took her about 2 weeks when she was binge watching one of her favorite shows, but it was totally worth it. My Jedi name, Jean Denham.
Every single day, it just felt like we were really getting away with something.
We saw several panels today, including Dave Franco for his new movie, Together. He stars in it with Allison Brie, his wife. Also, the stars of the series Dexter talked about the show's new series, Dexter Resurrection.
I think different people like the show for different reasons.
Michael C. Hall was there to talk about the show that started in 2006, nearly 20 years ago. This afternoon, the cast and crew of Rick and Morty talked about their 8th season of the raunchy animated comedy.
I'll just find something I don't like about you or get bored.
They also showed a clip of the season finale to the audience, gathered across the street in the Hilton Bayfront Hotel.
Straight ahead, looking right.
We also met the cast and crew of the movie Primitive War,
RC Vulture looking for SFC Baker,
which is the first major Australian production to make its way to Comic-Con.
3 days ago, I lost my Green Berets.
One of the actors in the movie is Entourage star Jeremy Piven, who says he loves Comic-Con and San Diego.
I've been to Comic-Con in a very fictional way. We were shooting Entourage here, and then I came with Guy Ritchie to do Rock and Roll years ago. But to witness the energy that people, the commitment that people have, I showed up here at 1:00 last night, and everyone's in costume, and it's just very surreal. Lloyd!
And it is my first Comic-Con, and I have had so much fun these last 2 days, really getting to take in everything. It feels like a music festival. We're saying, okay, what time, who do we see, where do we go, which hall? And it has been so much fun and great experience. Of course, Comic-Con continues to run through this weekend. They got Kevin Smith Saturday night, and then George Lucas, of course, the creator of Star Wars, is actually going to be here Sunday morning to close out the incredible Comic-Con convention. Back over to you.
So, Alex, you might hear the echo of Lloyd. Carlo's in here yelling that, but I have to ask you, as a totally unbiased journalist and not at all a secret Jeremy Piven superfan, what was he really like in person? Did he give off more Ari Gold or Zen Guru vibes?
More Zen vibes, yeah, absolutely. He was so nice, he was so down to earth, so easy, and we talked a little bit beforehand, a little bit afterward, and I would absolutely have a beer with Jeremy Piven. He was a great guy. Had to make sure I got over to see him today. So absolutely an awesome guy, and I asked him, I said, hey, Jeremy, can I get a Lloyd? And he really just kind of looked around, made sure he didn't do it too loud, but then gave me Lloyd, and it was a really cool moment for me here.
That's awesome. Okay, Alex Chaney, live for us at Comic-Con. Thank you so much.
No cell phones were thrown in the making of that story.
No, did you want to yell it one more time?
No, I don't want to yell it one more time.
Okay.
But just he looked like he was a reptile, so no fur on that, right?
No.
Okay, I just was wondering what exactly he was.
Actually, it did kind of look furry now that you mention it. Well, amid all of the Comic-Con fun is a man using 3D art to try and solve a local cold case.
His name is Joe Mullins. He's a forensic artist for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, a job that he's held for 26 years. He creates images that can help identify people who have gone missing or those who have been found but never identified. At this year's convention, he is using a 3D printed skull and clay to bring a case from May of 2004 here in San Diego back to life. The skeletal remains of a young boy were found inside a green and tan duffel bag dumped off the 15 in Rancho Bernardo. It's believed the boy was between 2 and 4 years old and had been dead for at least a year. The hope is that maybe one of the tens of thousands of Comic-Con attendees may recognize the boy.
8 billion people on the planet. We need 8 billion people to see this, but in reality, it only takes one. We just need one person to see this finished facial approximation and say, I think I know who that is.
Mullins will be working on the sculpture through Sunday. If you'd like to check it out in person, he's in Hall F between comic books and the Nickelodeon booth. Still 2 more days worth of fun at Comic-Con to be had.
Here's a look at a few of the highlights tomorrow. It's a cartoon takeover in Ballroom 20 as the stars of Bob's Burgers, Futurama, The Simpsons, American Dad, and Family Guy all hold their own panels running from 10 in the morning to 2:15 p.m. At 11:15 a.m., the stars of Abbott Elementary preview Season 5. Then at 12:30, hear from the cast and crew of the Star Trek universe. At 2:15, a look at the sci-fi thriller Project Hail Mary featuring Ryan Gosling and the directors who made the Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street. And at 7:15, an evening with Kevin Smith as he talks Jay and Silent Bob, Mallrats, Dogma, and more.
All right, an app that gives you discounts while helping the environment.
We've got those details still ahead, plus a bee attack caught on camera. We hear from the man who stepped in to help a struggling stranger.
But first, sunburn can be deadly even for your pet. We're working for you to find out more about the measures you can take to help keep them protected.